Hi guys, I said before, if the government is going to U-turn, it should be frank with the public that the policy was a mistake, say that they listened to those concerned, apologise and move forward with a different policy. But there are downsides politically to a U-turn. The opposition parties can use it as evidence that you're a weak leader, somebody who can't keep their MPs on side. And if there are too many U-turns, it shows that the party is not fit to govern. The best way around this problem is to have decent policies, and the current plan to reform welfare is not one of them. As you'll hear from this BBC report, the number of MPs willing to support a wrecking amendment to the bill next week is growing, which may force the government to drop the bill or worse, rely on the Tories for support. This begs the question, who the heck is advising Keir Starmer?
It's very hard to see how the government can proceed as planned. As you said, the government has been trying to squeeze the number of Labour MPs who've signed this amendment. An amendment doesn't really do it justice because it wouldn't just tweak what the government has done. Under the sort of plans that they've signed up to, it would thwart the government's welfare plans entirely, which have been a centrepiece of their approach to the economy. Yesterday, almost every cabinet minister was asked to call up Labour MPs who'd signed up to this amendment to get them to back down, to take their names off it, and the numbers just went up. That tells you something about where the mood is in the Labour Party on this. Now, yesterday, Sir Keir Starmer was adamant that the government would press ahead, but he doesn't have long. This vote is meant to be taking place in the House of Commons on Tuesday. If you simply look at the numbers, the signs are that if that vote were to take place, the government would lose it. So I do wonder whether, perhaps once he's back from that NATO summit at The Hague, Sir Keir Starmer might come to see that. There are certainly some in government who now believe it's all but inevitable that he will pull this vote on Tuesday. But that will have profound consequences for this government's economic policies as well as its political situation.
Because if you pull the bill, then Kemi Badenoch and the Conservatives and Reform UK probably will make hay of the situation. They will say, oh look, he's weak. He's not a true leader. He shouldn't be in charge. The government is in chaos. So they will, of course, take advantage of the situation. They will say that Starmer is not in charge. He's being led by his backbenchers. The backbenchers are afraid of losing their seats. They're not a real government. They're not serious about dealing with the cost of welfare. And this is going to feed into the narrative that the government is on the side of spongers and scroungers and not on the side of working people. Of course, this is a false narrative, but it's the one that will be pushed by the Conservatives and Reform. On the other side, if he doubles down, he's going to have to rely on the Conservatives. So what sort of message does this send to the public? What message does this send to Labour MPs? We're actually going to side with the Conservatives, the party that we railed against, the party that we were supposed to replace in order to get our bill through. And what bill is this? This is about harming the most vulnerable in society. This is not like a defence bill, or it's not about something that is not directly connected to Labour, not something associated with Labour, not something that people think about when they think about the Labour Party. This is about looking after the most vulnerable in society. This is about cutting PIP. This is about imposing cuts to welfare. The party that's supposed to be on the side of workers and the most vulnerable, the poor, the disabled. So just think about it for a moment. Relying on the Conservatives who hate the poor and the disabled in order to get a bill through would be a disaster for the party. I think it could bring down Keir Starmer as leader. I think there would be calls for a vote of no confidence. We'll have to wait and see. But I think the rational approach would be, let's not go ahead with this bill. This will be damaging to the party, damaging to the reputation of the Labour Party. Not just today, but going forward until the next election. It doesn't make any sense politically, and it doesn't make sense economically because many people who rely on PIP are already working. So if you make it more difficult for them to access PIP, it's going to obviously make it more difficult for them to get into work. That doesn't make any economic sense, doesn't make any political sense. And you're supposed to be a party on the side of both working people but also people who can't work. I really don't understand what the goal here is. Is it just to punish people? Because you're not saving a huge amount of money. You could find it somewhere else, or you could borrow this money, or you could find a way to raise this cash. But a decision like this is detrimental to the Labour Party. This would be like, I don't know, the Conservatives going after non-doms or something like that. So I really hope that Starmer pulls the bill. I think he will take a bit of hit. He will take a bit of pain for that. It will be probably short term because Reform and the Conservatives will attack him over that. But I think the public would be on board with, yes, you don't punish the most vulnerable in society. You have to protect them. But we'll have to wait and see, because Starmer is somebody who seems to be advised by Morgan McSweeney, and Morgan McSweeney doesn't understand the lives of ordinary people. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.